across the lake there, guys. In a culvert over there. Already got all those lights out there. Those are crappie fishermen getting it in early this morning by 5:30, 6 o'clock. If you guys look across here over at the boat ramp, where I've done my fishing at, they have a crappie tournament going on this morning. So guys are starting to get ready for that this morning also. Good morning, guys. It's surprise day. So it is a little after 5:30 in the morning. As you can see, little acers down there.
I'm excited. You know why I'm excited, everybody? Daddy, tell them.
You ready, acers? Today is another positive move in my life, guys. I've been fighting and scratching this thing for a long time. I ain't giving up yet. Today we move up in life a little bit, guys. We are well, let me show you. Yep. It's about that time.
Welcome to our new home. Tell them about it, Daddy.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy, Camomeleon. What's good, y'all? Man, I know y'all looking at the computer screen like, what is going on with Camo? Pick up, go this way, night, day, boom, we here. Man, I told y'all back in my vlogs, and I also told y'all back in my life updates, man, a couple of life updates back, I had some stuff that was going on in the background. I'm kind of hoping it would work through. I didn't want to say nothing about it because I didn't want to jinx it. You know how that goes. But yeah, I am now officially camp host at Arrowhead State Park, one of the camp hosts at Arrowhead State Park. It's your boy. It's a true blessing, man. And I figured that I might, since I kind of wet your tablet a little bit with rumors of what's going on with Camo in the background over there, other than my little boy Aces who sleep right now. Yeah, I know. Woke you up, buddy. I'm sorry. You're so sweet, boy. Say hello, everybody. Say hello, everybody. Yeah, so I think I'd make a video, guys, and let y'all know the story behind how all this came about. So bear with me because there's a lot of details and stuff I got to remember. I got a little bit in front of me to kind of help me out here, but still, I got to bring these details together for y'all. So let me tell y'all about the story, man. So as y'all already know, October 20th, 2015 is when I got the part-time job here at the state park. Now my job here is a maintenance. Let's just call it maintenance. Okay. And what that involves is I do 29 hours a week. That's approximately 6.5 hours a day. One day I do 5.5 hours, 30-minute break type deal. And basically I take care of all the bathhouses here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 campgrounds and a golf course. So there's 6 bathhouses and a group camp, which has 2 bathhouses. So somewhere around 8 bathhouses is what I have to take care of. Basically what that is just keeping them clean and stocked for people that come here to the park to camp and hang out for the day. And I am also in charge of what we have group camp. We have a group camp called Camp Harbin, which is a group facility which is for, people can rent it out for church events, family reunions, any big group type of event, you can rent it out. But I'm in charge of that facility, basically doing repairs, cleaning it, checking folks in, checking folks out, just, you know, making sure the patrons have everything they need while they're here, all that good stuff, answering questions and anything like that. So I'm basically the host, if you will, the camp host of that particular facility. And that's just my part-time. That's just in my part-time job, in addition to whatever else the guys need me to help them out with here, the full-time guys that are responsible for the grounds and maintenance and other stuff with the park itself. So I stay pretty busy when I'm here, and that's a good thing. So like I said, I got here in October, and in November I decided to talk to the manager of the park, and I basically inquired to him about what a camp host was, his duties was here. Because I know that the park had 2 camp hosts, and I was just kind of figuring out what all that inquires to do, if it was something that I could do if it came available. There's a couple of things I talked about when I first got here. Was, you know, obviously it's just a part-time job, and I jumped right on it. It was a job, I needed one. But I also told him, I said, you know, if there's a full-time position that comes up, you know, please don't hesitate to let me know about it. And he said, no problems, you'll be the first guy I talk to. In addition to the camp host job, which I asked him about, and he told me basically what it entails is that you would work 20 hours of volunteer work a week. So if I work 29 hours a week, then that means I'll be doing 49 hours, almost 50 hours a week here at the park. Okay, it's a little bit extra work, whatever. You would collect, you pick up trash. I think at the time we were starting to sell firewood, so you'd be selling firewood. You'd help out at the front office, just any and everything. I mean, literally, you would be changing hats, you know, throughout the day. I'm already doing that anyway in my part-time job, so it's used to it. If I got the camp host, if I got a camp host job, I would be normal to it. He said also basically what it would be. I said, okay. Well, then I said, you know, obviously I would live here on the park, right? And he was like, yeah. He said, I would, if you were to be here, you basically would be living free of charge. Wouldn't cost you a dime to be here. That is a plus. I'm gonna tell you why that's a plus. Because when I was living in Crowder, I was paying $352 a month in addition to the other bills that I had. After a month of checks, after two checks, I was basically had just enough to take care of outside stuff and not very little left over to save. I might have been saving $50 aside, which is a lot in the scheme of things. But if I had moved, if I can get a camp host job here and work under those conditions, then I'd be able to put back a load of cash. I'd be able to catch up on some things I couldn't get caught up on, like maintenance on my car that I've had to hope and pray would hold off until I had the money to fix stuff that need to be tuned up and fixed. You know what I mean? So after having that conversation with him, you know, I was like, okay, that's cool. So I just kind of left the conversation. I was like, you know what, I really hope that something comes up and then I can actually, not to put anybody else out of their current position, but maybe the state will want to have a third camp host, which they don't. I've already asked that question. They only will allow 2, and they already had 2 right now. So the 2 camp hosts that they have right now, or at the time, in November, I'll say camp host 1 and camp host 2. I'm not gonna put folks' names out there. Camp host 1 has been here for like 5 years, and I think he left and came back, but he's the camp host down in Turkey Flat. Camp host 2 is also a camp host in Turkey Flat, and he works full-time at the golf course. So you're thinking, why in the world do they need 2 camp hosts in the same park? Don't you want them in separate parks, different ends of the park to help out the patrons, more just dispersed apart like that? I asked the same question, and the story goes that camp host 2 actually used to be in Echo Ridge, where I am currently at right now as camp host. And he actually had a rig. His first rig was a 30 amp rig. The only 50 amp spots in the park is at Turkey Flat, which is your concrete pads. Every place else in the park is 30 amp. So he had a 30 amp rig at the beginning, and this is where they needed him at, so this is where he was at. I don't remember how long he said he was here for, but eventually Camp Host 1 left Turkey Flat and went to Wisconsin or something like that. So Camp Host 2 wanted to move down to Turkey Flat. Well, Camp Host 2 went and bought him another rig, but this rig was a 50 amp rig. And obviously the only place that he could be at as a camp host with a 50 amp rig and have everything functioning like it's supposed to be Turkey Flat. Well, seeing that Camp Host 1 had left, he just moved down there and started working as camp host, the camp host for the park. Now, it's my understanding that it's pretty tough with one camp host in this entire park. Pretty rough, from what I understand, from what I'm being told. But I remember how long he was doing that. But eventually what happened is Camp Host 1 came back and also came back to Turkey Flat because obviously he already had a 50 amp rig, and that's the only place he could be at with a 50 amp rig. So it ended up that you had 2 camp hosts that were in the same park, in the same campground at Turkey Flat. So that was the current situation right now. February 2016, I was told that there's a possibility that a camp host position is going to open up. So man, my ears went up, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting happy. I'm like, okay, so is the state adding a third position? He's like, no. He's like, Camp Host 2 will more than likely be leaving his position in mid-March. I was like, okay. I said, he's like leaving the park? He's like, no, he's going to keep his full-time job up there. Because in my mind is running now. I'm like, okay, if he's leaving the park, that means a full-time position is going to open up, so I can slide in as full-time position, and I could be camp host. That'd be fantastic. But he's like, no, he's going to keep his full-time position, but he's going to be giving up his camp host position. He's got some land that he's purchased and he's getting ready to move into, and he's going to be leaving out. I'm like, okay, all right. And I said mid-March, right? He's like, yeah, mid-March. I said, you don't have like an exacter time frame, a more specific time frame? And he was like, no, I don't. So he said, but I'll find out and see if I can let you know. So I let a couple of weeks pass, and I went to talk to him, and I talked to him again. He was like, yeah, I don't have an exact, I can tell you sometime middle of Marchish time frame. I'm like, okay, so it's whatever is whatever, right? I would love to have a more specific time so I can do some planning, and on my side to prepare to leave here, not paying rent for stuff I didn't didn't need to pay for months and stuff like that. But it's cool. It is whatever it is, man. So about the middle of March came, and I ain't heard nothing from nobody. Nobody said nothing about, Camp Post 2 leaving, when he was leaving, none of that. So I went to go ask. He doesn't know. He's not sure. He would have thought he would have already been gone by now. I'm like, okay. So I ended up talking to Camp Post 2's boss up at the golf course. And basically what he says is he's really not sure. Because what's going on is that he has some dozer work that he has to have done at his place. And he's having issues with the dozer and times and all that other stuff that's going on, preparing his land for him to move into. Can't get a hold of his dozer man, yada, yada, yada. So I was like, okay, so do y'all guys have any idea when it may happen now? Because it's obviously not going to happen in the middle of March. He was like, well, to be honest with you, I don't know. He said it could be April, middle of April, could be June before he, can leave out. So I'm thinking to myself, okay. I walk away, I'm thinking, this is bad. This is bad. And I'm going to tell you why this is bad. I only work 29 hours a week. This is the first part-time job I've ever had in my life, period. Whenever I started working, I've always had a full-time job. Never had a part-time job. Never. And I was doing well. But this is the middle of March, and taxes are around the corner. I haven't paid my taxes for a full year. So I had already gotten my taxes done. I realized, which I'll tell you guys more of in the next life update, that I was going to be in bad shape, money-wise, because I have just enough of money from the 2 paychecks I get a month. I have just enough of money to take care of my bills, and then the essentials I need on the side, and then there's like $50 maybe left after that for me to do squat with. That's a problem. I needed to have this position where I would not pay any rent, anything. I would basically, household stuff would be free of charge. Rent, no water, no electric, that stuff, sewer not being paid for. I was paying $352 a month at Crowder. If I got here at the park, I'll be paying $0 a month. I needed that position to happen very soon. I try not to stress, but I stressed on it just a little bit, man. I was like, oh, this is not good. It's not good. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It'll happen if it'll happen. It's about the beginning of April, after I had come off about 2 days of being off. The lady in the front office came to me and says, Camp Post 2 is looking for you. She didn't actually say Camp Post 2, guys. I'm trying to keep people's name out of my videos. And I was like, okay. So I go up to the golf course and hunt him down. And he's like, hey, whenever you're ready to move in this Camp Post, man, you let me know. Because we can just pack up and go. He says, because what we're going to do is we're going to move to a different spot in Crowder, which is the same place I came from. We'll stay there for a couple of weeks until the finishing work is done enough to get our RV up to our place, our new place, and then we're good. So I said, really? So I jumped on the phone, called my buddy Bob up, and I was like, Bob, I'm thinking this, I'm thinking that. I was thinking tonight. I was getting excited. I was thinking tonight. I was thinking Friday. I think this was like a Wednesday when he told me. I'm thinking Friday. I'm thinking Saturday. I'm thinking Monday. So on April 9th, 2016, I hook up to my fifth wheel, and we boogie on down to Arrowhead State Park to move in as the new camp host of Arrowhead State Park. So I am now camp host number 2. Guys, I love it. I really do love it. It can be stressful at times, and mostly in season. Right now, this is the summertime. So obviously spring, summer, and late fall, are in season. And so we have your big holidays, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day are the three big ones that the park has. And they get busy, from what I understand. I've never experienced it. I've just experienced Memorial Day, and that was pretty wild. I was pretty much camp hosting for about 8 hours for 2 days straight after I'd done my 6.5 hours of work. Yeah, it's nuts. But it is beneficial to me because I have to pay no rent, no utilities. It's free of charge. And I get to set money aside to save and work on getting myself out of the hole that I was in when I got here to Oklahoma. So what are my job duties as camp host? Well, it's kind of what I told you before, guys. It's my day goes like this. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. This is specifically for the summer, okay? I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I start cleaning. I start running through the park, cleaning the bathhouses, taking care of the bathhouses. So I work from 5 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. And then I get off. I go home. I usually go to sleep with my little puppy Acers. We sleep for a couple hours. If not, we sleep till somewhere around 4 o'clock. Take a nap until 4 o'clock. Unless I have some other stuff I need to do, I try to do it in between that time, but you know, I try to rest. Try not to make my life too complicated. And about 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, I start getting ready to go camp host. And basically I start collecting from 5 till 8 o'clock. Now you add those up times 5 days, that's under 40 hours, that's under 20 hours a week. There's a reason for that. It's because when I first started here, I didn't do it that way. That's how I'm doing it now. When I first started here, it was a little bit all over the place. The position that I have with the park paid is a position that I can pretty much work the hours I need to get my 29. I don't have to be in or leave at a specific time. And that's basically how I was doing it. So I would work until, like from 8 till, from 7 to like 1:30, and then get off and start camp hosting for 2 or 3 hours, and then go home for an hour, and then start camp hosting for 3 or 4 more hours. And it just kind of happened. Eventually it gets tiresome. You're just wide open from the time you leave to the time you go to bed. That wasn't good. So I had to adjust how I did things to help keep me normal. On holidays, obviously that schedule changes. The part-time paid schedule from 5 to 11:30 should stay the same, but the camp hosting one will probably extend. So I'll probably go in at 5, and I'll probably work till, I don't know, it has happened from 9, 10, 11, 12. So I could possibly be doing anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of camp hosting on holiday weekends, because they get busy here in the park. Some of the other things I do too is, pick up trash. In the front office, we have folks coming in and out, so just giving them information, working the front office, selling firewood, which is what we do here too. Just helping out the other camp hosts, kind of going around stocking the bathrooms with toilet paper if they run out, just stuff like that. And in addition to trying to keep an eye on the group camp folks who have a group camp the same weekend or whatever the case. So it can get a little complicated. It can get a little busy, but it's not too bad, and you can't beat the free rent. Let's talk about challenges versus the benefits of a camp host position. Challenges. So I kind of told you that one of the challenges is the hours, because in a day I can work 6.5, 7, 8, I could do a 9-hour day, up to a 12-hour day, and probably more, depending on the type of weekend. I try not to do that, but on a normal level, an everyday level, I do about a 9-hour day between my paid job and my camp hosting job. So the hours are a little longer. Obviously, one's paid, one's volunteer, but it is what it is. A lot of times, like Memorial Day weekend, my campground, Echo Ridge, was completely full. RV wise, the tents weren't even touched. Just the whole RV side was, I think I had 20 RV sites out here in my campground. They were all full. Obviously, all reserved people, which was a blessing. You don't have to collect from reserved people; they've already paid. But it was full, and so you have to deal with the full people in the campground, and just a lot of stuff has to be done more often. Like the bathhouses have to be kept a lot more cleaner. Sometimes the process of camp hosting can be unorganized. Information gets transcribed from the customer to the ticket to the system wrong sometimes. So you may have a person come in and they may be staying for 2 days in your ticket, on the ticket and in the system, but when you go talk to them, they actually paid for 3 days. And when you actually look and try to decipher what that person read on the ticket, it kind of comes out to that way. A lot of these people that come in with RVs, tent campers are a different story because they're tent campers. Not saying that they're, any less honest than RV people, but an RV person has this humongous RV. They have a lot of planning that takes in to move this thing to one place to another. They're not going to cheat you. The tent person might try to get you, and they have many times here. So, as far as try to get through without paying. So, which is one of the reasons why we don't allow reserved tent sites. We only reserve RV sites. But the system of camp hosting is a little bit unorganized, and it bothers me because I've been in IT for 14 years. I've been an engineer, and you know how anal engineers can be about certain things. So I've had to set that aside and just go with whatever's there and just not worry about things. That way it keeps me from being bothered. As far as the benefits, obviously rent-free. I pay no utilities, I pay no rent, so that's fantastic. I'm able to save at least a paycheck. I'm able to save at least a paycheck a month aside to take care of future plans and current arrangements that I have not been able to take care of since I've been in Crowder, Oklahoma, in the RV park. My car, our fuel usage is substantially lower. When I lived in Crowder and had to drive to the park, which is only 2 miles away, obviously I had to use my car. And then I went from there to the church and other places I had to go. So my fuel usage was obviously high because I was using my car. Well, since I live on the park, I use a parked vehicle. So anytime I'm in the park, I'm using a parked vehicle. My car stays parked. Only time I use my car is if I have to go outside of the park on my days off. That's it, guys. My fuel usage is low, and that's a huge benefit. The amenities of the park, being a camp host, being a guy that works part-time in maintenance, I have access to almost every aspect of this park. So I have access to every amenity. Whatever I need to do, I can do because I have the keys to do them. Not to mention, it's nice to live in a state park, guys. People go to state parks for a vacation, for a weekend away, and then they have to turn around and have to go back home. Well, I'm a little bit different. I'm here. I come for the amenities, the peace, the state park, but I don't have to go home because I'm already home. It's a great feeling to wake up and look out your door or your window and see a lake. Because essentially, guys, I have a lake house. It's not damn near on the lake, but it's on a hill. The lake is very visible. It would take me less than 2 minutes to get to the lake. So I got a lake house. I have a beautiful view. I live in an absolutely wonderful campground that does not get used very often, except for maybe major holidays. And I mean, you can't beat it, guys. I'm blessed. Great opportunity for me. So yeah, guys, so that's the story. Try not to make it too long, but that is what I had going on in the works behind me, trying to make sure things would happen. I didn't want to talk about it, like I said, because I didn't want to jinx myself. I have met some fantastic people since being here, and I will talk about that later on in some life updates down the line. And maybe some videos y'all see some great people that I know that I've met here at the park. But it is a great job. It's a great opportunity, and emphasis on the opportunity. A lot of people in today, a lot of young people, and I don't consider myself young, being 38, a lot of people don't understand the benefit of minimalizing your life. Minimalizing, that's right, minimalizing something, reducing your life to the bare essentials. You don't need that 3-story house. You don't need those 4 cars. You don't need that boat. You don't need all that extra stuff, because all those things are anchors to prevent you from doing the stuff that you love to do or you want to do, but you can't because you're so buried down and tied down to this other stuff. But that's your life. That's people way they want to live. Me, Little Ace, we're simple people. We like to live simple life. In my personal opinion, that's how I get the most out of my life. So that's my story, guys. I appreciate y'all guys listening. I appreciate y'all guys tuning in. More information, next life update coming in y'all real soon. Real soon. Hey, appreciate the love, man, the respect, and look forward to some more videos from me, man. It's been busy. I'm a busy guy now that I have 2 jobs now. 2 part-time jobs, if you will. So just bear with me, but keep me in your prayers and in your heart, man. Your boy Camo and Lil Lace back here. What you say, Bubba? We love y'all, man. We appreciate y'all. We respect y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Ish.